again, I am of the era, still remember, I don't want to say I'm the Vietnam generation, but we still lived during that time when there was Vietnam vets. I remember seeing the pictures of the Chinooks in Saigon in 75, and then subsequently them pushing it off, the side of the aircraft carriers. So now I'm watching, Chinooks going to our embassy in Kabul, and now I'm watching Enemy with Our Guns, C-17s chock packed with, I didn't know you can stick 800 people in them, but, just absolutely amazing. Yeah. And I'm sitting there going, how did all this transpire? How we knew, we've been saying we're leaving forever and a day. Yeah. And this is the way we leave. Mm-hmm. And it's embarrassing from, that standpoint, that why wasn't there a plan in place to execute that properly? How much stuff do we lose? How much stuff, Yeah. That's my qualm.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, watching it is it's, infuriating on a number of levels. To me, it similarly, like people have reached out and asked what I think, or, if I'm doing okay or whatever. And similar, it's like, one, I was in Iraq. I never went to Afghanistan. Not that it matters, in the grand scheme of things, I guess, but it does. I think it's an important distinction to make. Like or I guess I should say, when I saw the same thing happening in Iraq, like to compare the two, I feel the same about both of them, having been in one and not in the other. I don't feel more pissed off the way that it happened in Iraq than I did in Afghanistan because I wasn't there. But at any rate, to me, the easily the most frustrating part of it is just that it didn't have to be that way. Mm-hmm. Is that it's pretty easy to see, even if you have no fucking tactical or military background, operational background whatsoever, that you could say, okay, shouldn't the people that have the ability to keep and maintain order, shouldn't that be the last piece that you pull out? Like, yes, it should. And to say that, we planned on this and we didn't do that way, and that was all the plan. Like, either you're that stupid or you think we're that stupid. Both of them are equally unacceptable. And it just, I wish that just one fucking time, one politician would stand up there and be like, you know what, I fucked up. Mm-hmm. I fucked up huge. I made a big mistake. This is 100% on me, and I'm going to fix it. Yeah. And that's it. And not, I fucked up, but the reason I fucked up is because the guy before me, or because my people didn't tell me the right shit, or well, they never told me that. It's like, can't you just say, yeah, I fucked this one up? Like,
wasn't my fault, Mike.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man.
And I know, like, the communities that we come from, like, that is the backbone.
Yeah.
Of a team, and as a president, like, you're the fucking coach of the entire goddamn country's team, and like of all positions, that one is the most important to legitimately take accountability and ownership for your mistakes, and it just doesn't happen.
No.
To me, the irony of it is that, the collective entire fucking country would have so much more respect for that guy, and even people that hate you will have no choice but to respect it, because you can't fault a guy for saying, I fucked that up and I'm going to do better.
Yep.
Because how do you critique that? It's like, yeah, you did fuck up. And you're like, yeah, I did fuck up. Mm-hmm. Like, there's nowhere to have to tap dance away from that, So it's like, even your harshest critics can't give you shit for saying, yeah, I totally dicked that up.
Yep.
Like, how do people at that level not get that?
That's the question of the hour, right? It's on so many different points.
Yeah.
But it's like, who are you getting your counsel from?
Yeah.
So part of it is sitting there going, yes, I take responsibility. But you got to ask yourself, did you even ask anybody, hey, what's the best course of action? Yeah. Or did you just sit there and go, pull the plug, let's go?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And to me, at that level too, you take, we'll take Joe Biden because he's the guy, 40 years as a senator. Right? 8 years as a vice president. Okay, so you've got 48 fucking years. You've got more experience than I've been alive at the highest goddamn levels of government, and you fucked this up about as bad as you can fuck it up.
Yeah.
So to me, like, there isn't I'm going to learn from this. Like, motherfucker, if you don't know how to handle that now with everything you've been through, you need to just get the fuck out of the way. Mm-hmm. I mean, there really is no other course of action that I see. I am encouraged to at least see even the most staunchest mainstream media allies of his grilling him, which I'm actually surprised, pleasantly surprised, but surprised that they're taking him to task the way that they are. Just before we sat down on the way here, I was listening to a press conference that he had where he took a couple questions, and one of them was, what is your response to the international critiques? The Chancellor of Germany, the fucking British Prime Minister. I mean, there's been a number of heavy hitter NATO allies of ours that have basically said, dude, you really fucked this up, and his response was, we're not getting any of that criticism. It's the opposite. It's just like, holy fuck. Like, I mean, it's the emperor's clothes thing. It's like just such a fucking disconnect and a skewed perception of reality that there's just no hope for it. I just hope that as short-sighted and short-memoried as America has become, that they don't forget that, and that there's some accountability. That I'm not that hopeful for, though.
No, I wish I was in the same boat. But I go back. Let's think about it. 75. 75 is when we pulled out of Saigon.
Yeah.
It's still within a generational window. We've forgotten that.
Yeah. Well, and the bitch of it is there's people in our government that were around for that.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's fucking mind-numbing. And to me, I mean, we could pick apart every kind of ground-level decision or mistake that was made. I mean, fuck, we'd need to sit here for hours to pick apart every one of those. I mean, the biggest thing is just you can't say that you planned for something and have to send people back. Like, then you didn't plan for it, Yeah. Oh, yeah, we planned for what's happening. You couldn't have, or they would have been there already. Yep. The fact that Kandahar and Bagram were shut down, it's just like, man, what the fuck? I am curious, I mean, from your standpoint, do you see any hope for the country as it relates to politics and kind of where we're at? What's your stance on that?
As far as us or Afghanistan?
I mean, I know Afghanistan's, not a lost cause, but it basically is. I mean, I don't see it recovering.
I mean, here's the problem with us, right? We've got some serious fixing we have to do as a country. We're very much separated, divided, and there's all this friction that needs to just go away. Yeah. At the end of the day, our politicians fail us repeatedly. With everything going on, we've got governors basically putting in executive orders that supersede legislation. So there's everything going wrong, and then there's such a divide. Here's the bottom line. We are all Americans. That's our title, American. Nothing before, nothing after, American. If we use that, and Teddy Roosevelt kind of brought it up, that keeps us as one. And then at the same token, we got these politicians, which, how you get in there, 48 years. 48 years. Shockingly, the Army told me, hey, you got to leave.
Yeah.
Your time's up.
Yeah.
Okay? Can we not put some things in place?
Yeah.
To go, hey, man, you've been here long enough.
Yeah. You fucked it up enough times.
What else you going to do?
Yeah.
Or I should say not do.
Yeah.
But there's some definite things we have to do as a country.
Yeah.
But it starts really at the very lowest essence. It starts with that family nucleus.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
no, I agree. I mean, the country has its own set of problems that, I think they have to start at home, because without that, I mean, that is the foundation that sets the tone for everything else. And if you grow up with no respect for anything, it's going to be almost impossible to teach that later, you know, and you see it. I am curious, I mean, from having been in Afghanistan and put in time and lost friends and what have you, do you think, I guess, let's say you're President Rick starting tomorrow, what do you do?
As far as Afghanistan goes, I mean, I don't know currently notating what state is it in. Is everything debacleized? Do we have all our people? I don't know. Let's do simple things, right? Men, weapon, equipment. Do we have anything? I know we don't have all of our equipment. Do we have all of our guys? I don't know. But I would want to sit there and go, first of all, do I have all my people? And then you got to think, all those people that helped us, you just left them there. Are you going to recover that? Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. But I got my, my responsibility goes to my people.
Yeah.
And there's nothing past that point, like I said, I just don't know the.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's a shit show. There's no way for them to know even how many Americans are there, and to me, like, that's a huge fumble in the State Department.
Yep.
So if you don't know how many are there, you're not going to know when they're all out.
Exactly.
So that's problem number one, is you're never going to know if you got everybody. As it relates to the translators, the interpreters, the contractors even that helped, build shitters and fucking, food service and whatever, like they're all going to be targeted. The question is similarly is like, how do you vet those people? How do you prove that they are who they say they were? How do you prove that they were actually the contractor that did X, Y, and Z? Like, there's no way to prove that. They have angry mobs of people that are in a panic-stricken state, that are willing to hang on to an airplane as it's taking off to try to get away from there. Like, that is an impossible scenario to sift through while that's going on to determine who is who. So now you open up the door of the same thing with the mass refugee flooding of Europe back at the height of the ISIS fucking problem, where now you've got who knows who coming over here with what intentions and just flooding it.
Yep. And
I will also say this, is that, Biden came out a couple days ago and gave a COVID press conference, right? Which, again, to me shows the disconnect, but it also says this, is that if you still think that is that important and that dangerous to this country, why are you letting all these people that you don't know if they've been tested, they're not wearing masks, you don't know if they've been vaccinated? Like, if you think it's that big of a deal to not talk about Afghanistan and give a no questions press conference on this, why would you let tens of thousands of people that you have no idea what their COVID history is? Yep. Like, because I don't give a fuck, but I know you give enough of a fuck to shut the country down. So how do you explain that?
And how did the whole China virus get here to start?
Yeah.
Airplane.
Yeah.
So who knows what else? But I'm with you. Everything. It's just hypocritical.
Yeah.
You want to sit there and smash this on one side, but allow this on the other side.
Yeah. Same thing with the border. It's like you're letting people come across it and releasing them into the public that are COVID positive, but yet you're going to shut a restaurant down for not wearing masks. It's like, who is fucking okay with that? Like, why are we as a country not doing more to say fuck you? I mean, I know I do. Like, I don't. Like, if people are like, oh, you need a mask, well, I'll fucking go somewhere else then. Like, I don't understand the.
But I'm going to say this on the mask, right? And I can't speak for Texas. I will in the state of North Carolina. State of North Carolina, it's illegal to wear face covering in public. We have legislation on the books. And this is what I was getting at earlier. So the governor supersedes or thinks he's going to supersede legislation with executive order. It doesn't work. Yeah. But people let him go that.
Yeah.
Hey, governor, if you think that highly of it, go back and change the law.
Yeah.
Have they changed it? Nope.
Yeah.
So technically it's still illegal.
Yeah. No, I know. There's a lot
just kind of my quick soapbox.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's an enormous amount of trampling of rights that people are just allowing, and to me, the worst part of all that is that once you allow that to happen, you're not going to get that back, I mean, that's the slippery slope that turns into tyrannical dictatorships, is that, once politicians have power, they're not going to give it back up, I mean, how many times have we seen that in all the places that we've been? And that's the thing. It's like people don't realize that. They're like, oh, it's just this. It's not that big a deal. Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. Like, on a principled level, it's a huge fucking deal, because if they can do it with that, they can do it with anything.
Yep.
And if you think they won't, fucking look around.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's places all over the world that shit happens as we speak, where people are losing their lives and being just fucking railroaded, and can't do shit about it. But. Mm-hmm. We could spend forever and a day talking about it. Moving forward, what is your kind of next thing, or what do you want to do with the rest of your life?
Wow.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a rock star.